Catherine here. Thanks for joining me on my channel today. I'm going to be sharing with you this layout I'm creating for the Cocoa Vanilla Studio International Scrapbooking Day. And so this is the first challenge and this is this sketch challenge. So I'm going to use the Daydream collection. I have fussy cut a whole bunch of the rainbows that I'm going to use instead of hearts. And I've got the 6x or the A5 paper sheet there as well that I can fussy cut some more if needed. I thought I'd use this paper as a border background, so I'll go ahead and cut that down in a moment. And I've got these gorgeous little photos of my son Sebastian and his two cousins, at a family function just at the start of the year. So I really wanted to get these documented and I thought the rainbows would fit really well. I've picked out some, I've got the titles here that I'll go ahead and pick, and then I'll bring in some other ephemera as I go. But I'm going to put you on fast forward now. I thought I might do a bit of mixed media in the background as well. So we'll see how that comes along, and I'll put you on fast forward and take you through the process. So as I mentioned in my introduction, I'm going to go ahead and take this white cardstock and mount it on that kind of grey, greeny coloured paper. So I'm trimming that down. I think I've probably trimmed maybe, back to 11 and 2/3. Anyway, I am going to gut this paper because on the other side of this beautiful grey is the florals. So I will probably fussy cut a lot of them out from that square inside piece. But that's why I'm gutting that paper, to be able to then stick that white cardstock on top. But before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and rough up the edges of that. I do that on a lot of layouts. It's one thing that I really enjoy doing. So I'm roughing up those edges and I'm going to mount it on that base sort of grey, and I'm just using some liquid adhesive here because I'm not sure if I want to stitch around the edges or not, but I'm going to go ahead and stick that down, trying to line it up evenly. Then I'm going to take some Distress Oxide, some Tim Holtz Distress Oxide, and this is in Tattered Rose. So I'm just squishing it down on some plastic packaging there. I'm going to go and spray some water on it, and then I'm just dabbing it onto the page. So I'm going to create this sort of in the center of my layout. This cardstock isn't prepped, but I'm not using a lot of water. It is a reasonably thick cardstock, so it takes that sort of mixed media, that amount of mixed media fine. And then I'm using this stencil because I thought it looked like rainbows, and this is from Obed Marshall. And so I'm taking this stencil and I'm just going to use my blending brush here, just to put some of those rainbows in at different points. And I think I must have had another sort of pink color because that's coming out quite a bit deeper, but it all sort of blends in, and I really like the look of it in the end. So I'm just using those and just scattering them around the page. There's no real rhyme or reason. I'm just putting some of these in the background. It is going to be fairly light. I am actually going over a couple of those with some more Tattered Rose, just to I guess tone it down a little bit because it was looking a little dark. But I'm just going to go ahead, and a lot of this will get covered up by those rainbows, but I liked how that was looking. So I'm just bringing my photos back here to see how I want to lay them out, and then I'm going to go ahead and just sort of put these rainbows around the page. So some aren't quite whole rainbows, so I wanted to make sure that I use those in a way that I could tuck in and under the photo. So I'm just, like I said, laying these out and getting a view of where they should go so I can keep them on my page. And I wasn't, I was following the sketch, but I wasn't taking note in how many sort of hearts were going down the page or anything like that. I was just creating a similar layout with that sketch as the inspiration. Now I'm just going through and I'm trying to find and work out what paper I want to back these photos in. But first of all, I decide to mount them on some white cardstock. These photos I've just printed on my Canon selfie at home, which I do for most photos, to be honest. I very rarely print outside of home. I know it's not the most cost-effective way to do it, but for me, it's all about the convenience. So I'm just going to mat those on that white cardstock there. Just trim around the edges so I've got a nice clean border. So yeah, I really enjoyed creating this layout. I think I really enjoy having some challenges to be able to create. It's a really good place to have a jumping off point. So I will go through, I've got quite a few videos that are backlogged waiting for voiceovers, but I will go through from the International Scrapbooking Day. I will go through and sort of edit and get some more out on my channel. Because I really enjoyed creating these layouts. And I think, even though that's, that weekend is well and truly in the past, it's still great to be able to use those, those challenges for inspiration. The challenges, although the prizes or whatever have well and truly expired, the inspiration is still there. So I'm going to go and then mat these photos also on this blue sort of daisy pattern. And I'm just wondering if it needs something else, but no, I decided just to use that daisy. No, I'm still debating whether to use the daisy or that other same kind of bluey greeny color that I've got as the background or that base paper. And sorry, I know it skipped around a little bit, but I did go ahead. I lost a little bit of footage, so I did go ahead and mount those photos, and then I'm just picking out a title. So I really liked this lovely moments, and I wanted family, and I think there was the word family in those scripty words, but I wanted the contrast in the title. So I'm using family from that thicker pack. I think that was just from, I want to say it was from the Reject Shop here in Australia. If I can find it, I'll put it in the description below. But I just wanted to add this label here. I probably will go ahead and put the date on it and maybe add some journaling. I'm just adding that little tag above there that says love this, because I do love this. It was such a sweet little moment. And now I'm probably adding the clusters in a similar position to where Laura had them in the sketch, and I'm just going to use the floral. So as you can see in that container on the right hand side, I've got a bunch of fussy cut florals that I've cut from the 12 by 12 and also like the A5 paper stack. So I'm using those, and I'm just going to go ahead. I want to add one of those puffy hearts, those material puffy hearts from the collection. I love those. I think I need another packet. I might have to order some more. They're just gorgeous. And then I've got all these fussy cut butterflies, so I'm going to add them to a couple of those clusters, and I'm just trying to work out what color combo I want in which position, and I like the way that's looking. So I'm going to go ahead, I think off camera, and stick all of that down. Yeah, I didn't want to make you watch all of that, but with this heart, I'm using the Halma 450 glue to stick that down. I think it does a really good job of material. So, and I did move that heart. And then to finish off, I'm just using a sprinkling of this Heidi Swap. Oh no, this is the Jen Hadfield Gold Shimmer Mist. So I'm just sprinkling that around, and that's it for my layout. So thank you for joining me. Like I said, I'll have some more challenge sort of pages that I've created on my channel soon. But thank you so much for joining me. I hope you can get some inspiration from these challenges. Bye.